There you go.
Some of the best bites, sound bites on your videos that you sent me. I really appreciate it, by the way.
Yeah.
I'll just put it down.
Yeah. Yeah. The general philosophy has to stay intact. No matter what the mechanics are, it's the general philosophy of the grind that keeps you plugging away at it. Yep. That's where you want to be. Yep. Good. That's how you should do it. So it should feel like you're like really stalled out, and then the hand just kind of flick through it. And then what happens is, as you really get comfortable with that, and you feel like, okay, I can kind of hit the ball doing that a little bit. Then once you get far enough this way, then all of a sudden now you're going to start to straighten up out of it, and then it'll feel like you have this like nice flow, and your body, your hips are going to feel like they do like this. They're going to pelvis is going to feel like it goes like this, and then like that, and completely up and out. So
Roller coaster type.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Then you'll start to blend the exit. And once you put the exit stage into it, then it's like, oh wow, this is really good all of a sudden. But it's not going to be good until you add that. Right now, you got to get in position before you do your exit, your escape plan. Yeah, more left knee flex. There you go. Good. I like that image you sent of Champagne Tony Lehman. He was super neat, wasn't he? That's a good thing for you to watch. Like he's way too much, right? I mean, he's like super duper.
I didn't even look like that much. Really. I mean, he was over
Way more than what you do. And it's more than what I would want to teach someone. But since I kind of want you to, that's a good thing to have in your brain because it's so significant. There you go. Good. Now what'll happen is, as you get saggy, as long as you kind of you feel like your arms are like back here behind you like this and not like this way, like this, you'll start to make pretty good contact with it, even just being saggy to the ball. Even just kind of feeling like you kind of get completely collapsed. Fine. Just get that. And then you'll have to hold this angle longer, right? Because you can't release it. You got to hold this angle a little tighter. And then what you can do, then you're going to start to get, you're going to be in a position there where you can start to really go, okay, now I'm in a position now where I can really push, because you got more weight in the left leg, right? So now you can really start to push off that thing. But you got to get there. Every single swing I've seen on video with some amount of this. This pelvis not quite getting there. Just like that. Right? Not this way. And then whoosh, this way. I mean, you've seen the down the line what tour players look like. I mean, they look like that. They don't look like driving that thing down.
That's the reason also that the good ball strikers, the right elbow still looks like you got some right arm left in impact. It doesn't look like that. I get like that all the time. I get my right arm way too much this way. I don't get enough this way.
slow guys, right?
Yep. There you go. Good. It's just a nice little collapse of the knees. You're collapsing the knees, and like. Very good. You know, every good ball striker, even though you feel a complete collapse after the ball, every good ball striker looks, it's like, when you look at the Hogan impact position, it's like the left hip's not too sliding, it's not too spun out. You can see just a little bit of the left hip past the left arm. The chest, like the pelvis looks like it's moved more close to the left leg and starting to turn out. It looks like you have a little bit of C action here. Right arm looks underneath, right arm, elbow right sitting against the hip. Left wrist is fairly flat, depending on grip. Head slightly behind the ball. Okay? So this impact position, how do you get there? You can't get here unless you go this way first. If you start to turn like this, you'll never get there. It's going to be gone. Does that make sense? Yeah. So right now, you're just learning to hit this one, right? Okay, so I'm just collapse everything first. Left and collapse. Left and collapse, and then you'll start going this. Okay, a little bit up and out with the hips now. Okay, I'm on my left side, a little bit up with the hips now, and then really start to explode with the hips. So you have gotten there. You have arrived. Right now, you just gotta float the knees and collapse.
Still asking for the ticket for the conductor, so I can get on.
Yeah, yeah. Very nice. Excellent. And so when you're doing that, that's good, solid, fundamental movements on your transition. Makes the shaft shallow properly, elbow stays in front of you properly, left arm falls more vertical properly. You literally should do that like 300 times, right? Just don't go 10 times and go, I got it, and then let me do the. It's like you just really grind this out.
Yeah.
I mean, we can work through it faster today, but when you go home and grind, it's like I'm going to do this so this starts to feel normal, feel natural. It'll be really hard to do it with a driver. With a driver, you get like, oh my gosh, and then the club wants to go that way. No, don't. Hold it.
I know that.
Wait.
I've been at times, you know.
Is that yours?
Yeah.
Is that what you came down in?
A little bit. Picking up PF chains, coming back.
Yeah, just lap it around the field a little bit.
The plane boss. You know, I helped Jim Hardy and all this stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
I told you that, I think, that Stack and Tilt was involved in.
It sounds like you've been with everybody.
Well, you know,
You've been with Jacobs. You've worked with Manziel
No.
at all?
I just with him and Jacobs one time back in his stuff, but
Manziel is a character.
Oh gosh. But at times, you know, the T-Rex arm, right, has been a good thing. You know, one time my son pushed me on the couch. It was a cheap shot. Pushed me on the couch, right? We were kind of wrestling around, and I fell. My calves hit, and he just went in and pile drive your shoulder. He cracked my chest plate.
Oh.
But I had to go do a.
It's not good for your golf
I
swing.
had to do a one-plane swing. Well, I don't know, man. I hit everything like this.
Yeah. Just
Hit it well. I had to, you know.
small arms.
You have tiny arms. Pipe it. Cheap shot.
Whoa, looking like a tour pro threw the ball there. Good. Beautiful. Okay, still good. I would expect some of those too. As you're really committing to this little collapsing move, you should expect to chunk a few, right? Because you get a little bit out with the hands a little too soon. You're gonna stick a couple on the grass.
Well, this is where I want to be, though.
Yeah, yeah. You'll feel tight with the arms, especially the right arm. You'll feel pretty tight.
Like Byron Nelson.
Yeah, Byron had big caddy knots. So Byron, he was definitely more like this, and then was like that. He was actually good through the ball, but then through impact, he would maintain a lot of deflex and then stand up. So he looks significant. I don't like his most Hogan, obviously, but it's essentially if you slide it on the ground, their center of gravity movement would look the same. Pretty good. It would look the same general characteristics. Even Sneeb had the same characteristics, even though this one looks visually aesthetically different than both theirs. It looks less slidey. It looks more, you know, separated and a little more spinny. The center of gravity is still making that same from the right heel out to the ball, left foot, and then back. It's doing the same button hook. Yep. We're just trying to make your button hook longer.
You think anybody in the NFL throws a screenplay anymore? Just asking. No screens, and we don't steal bases in football. I mean, in baseball.
Yeah.
Giants.
Right there, man. Good. Okay, now since looks like you're doing that pretty well, let's do this. More shoulder turn, more back, more shoulder rotation.
Saturday.
More separation. Wind back without over-rotating your hips. And then wind up, then collapse. There you go.
That's too much.
Yeah, it's over.
Kevin.
Kevin puts his help down like that.
Well, I'm trying to
Like,
talk to him
dude,
for a while.
don't do that. He's like, no, that's center rotation. No.
Right shoulder behind.
Yeah, you'll just feel, it's not so much the shoulder, I just want more rotation. Yeah, so it looks a little bit till the arms, the shoulder stop, and you just kind of pull your arm up against your chest. You should feel like, you know, it's like right here.
Anytime I was looking at these swings from best 1.8, I don't know what was deep.
I don't mean to do that. It's just, I just
for you to do.
at the time I go, this is what I was doing, this is a good initial for that, and then a week later I wouldn't have built that.
I love it about you. Elbows, you know where they are, blah, 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 you know. So,
There's a relationship between the elbows. They're not glued together. They're not split out. They're not stuck together like this. But there is some relationship. They're aware of their spacing, and there's reasonable maintenance of that spacing, with the caveat that at the top there's a lot of good players that widen it out like you're throwing and then come back a little bit, or some guys that hold it in. But that's not really, I wouldn't consider that a fundamental, other than the fact that they're maintaining a relationship, especially from moving from P4 to P5. They're starting to come in. You're not going to see any good players with like super lock-in. You're not going to see any good players with them splayed out this way. But that's pretty obvious,
Exactly. So you need to be aware of when
you're doing this. You're just getting the arms to like your arms are kind of pulling up against your torso like that, and the shaft kind of stands up rather than the arms out in front of you, and then maintain a little bit, not separate. Don't, whatever you do, don't get that out. Don't get it too in. That's this angle maintained, okay? And this frontal muscle is relaxed, and the right arm controls the left arm's relation to the torso. But you want to still feel. What's that?
just face the camera.
Oh,
when you're doing it.
yeah.
Thank you.
So this is people talk about connection and stuff. It's the right arm is controlling the connection of the arms to the pivot.
Mm-hmm.
So if I go like this, if I go set up straight, boom, left arm. Now if I just try to take the left arm independently and I try to move it up, if I maintain this angle here, this number 7, if I maintain that angle, if I get to the air, I can't lift it any further unless I move my arm away. Okay, if I hold it here, I can't go any higher with the left arm only, because what happens is this frontal deltoid, whatever it's called, anterior deltoid, that contracts to its maximum amount and it's done, right? But if I now relax my left arm and I use my right arm to do it, and this frontal muscle is relaxed, now I can just pull my left arm up, okay? So when the golf swing, what's happening is the right arm controls the left arm's relationship to the shoulders, to the pivot, to the torso. The left arm does not do it by itself. In other words, if you try to get to a position at the top where you should be, what will happen is this muscle will move away, so it can use other muscles to lift it, and that's disconnection. Okay. So in order to maintain that angle, this is completely relaxed, and the right arm controls everything. So the right arm controls everything. The right arm not only controls everything, it pulls the arm swing, the arm swing up with the pivot. It controls the arm swing's relationship to the pivot. And at the top now, as you start down, the right arm is still in control and holding back. Again, like you're throwing a baseball, you don't just go forward with the arm. You feel that stretch across your chest when you step forward, and the right arm's holding back because you're trying to take all the slack out of the system, so you can transfer energy all the way to the outside of the circle efficiently. And that's happening in the golf swing too. But it's the right arm. So what we want you to do is we want you to wind up the shoulders by taking the right arm, rotating from here, middle of your spine a little bit more. Right elbow not getting too far behind you, staying in front, but holding back, and then you're going to collapse with the knees to the left. So you're going to do it again, just like I'm throwing.